guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to talk about how I actually budgeted for my move. So this is going to fall into the moving series. I'm not exactly sure which episode at this point. We'll see when I actually post. This is also going to mark the first episode of a new series on 5-minute budgeting, looking at how I use both my planners and just like general information on how I actually budget for specific things. Now, this is not necessarily going to be like life budgeting, but maybe like projects and that sort of thing. So for the first one, it's going to be the move. Now, you guys have seen a ton of my spreads in here, and you'll notice, or you may have noticed, that I don't have a lot of budgeting built into each spread. So in this section, I only have two sections that talk about money, for example. So I have the budget, which is how much rent I'm able to pay, and then the different costs. So this section is basically what I'm going to talk about today. So this is where I sort of broke down what are my costs going to be, but you'll notice I don't have any numbers here. I didn't actually start looking at this because this was just a general like if and when I move that I did about 2 years ago. I also did have a tracker for the apartment fund. You'll see I did fill this in after the fact, but then nothing else really talks about the money I'm gonna need to be able to move. I did have the mention of the budget in here, and the reason that I didn't do my budget in this notebook is because I actually ended up doing it a little bit differently, just because by the time I got to the point where I was going to be moving, I've developed a different way of budgeting. So I got all of my big furniture from IKEA, but I was originally going to get basically everything for the apartment from IKEA because I needed so much stuff. I wanted to just kind of get it all in one place, make sure I wasn't forgetting anything major. And so what I did is I actually went onto IKEA and I created different wish lists for my different rooms. So I had a wish list for the kitchen, I had one for the bathroom, one for my bedroom, I had one for the living room, so living room, office, and you can see possibly on here is I've actually got the specific names, and I was doing my floor plan. I did it based on the stuff I actually picked out, and I wrote in the prices on a lot of these. So basically I went through room by room and picked out the pieces that I wanted to buy and just kind of dumped them all in the wish list. Now, that didn't end up being the final list because when I actually chose the apartment, there were certain things that I didn't need or things that I didn't realize I would need that I did, etc. So for example, in the bedroom, I was going to buy a dresser and like a bedside table, and I didn't actually need that. So I went back through after that and I fixed my wish list. And what's really cool is in IKEA, when you do your wish list, it actually gives you the price of everything in there down at the bottom. So what I then did was come into YNAB. So this is actually my budget from February 2019. So this was from when I actually moved. And I had originally done a general, like in my general like savings, I had originally done a moving like savings fund, but I had kind of lumped everything in. So when I actually knew which apartment I was going to and I needed to start budgeting for it, I broke it out into a new category. So I have this special category for moving that when I'm done with this, I'm just gonna hide it. And I went through and I took kind of a round number of what I had put in my IKEA groupings, basically. And so I have bedroom, kitchen, living room, office, and miscellaneous. And I essentially set a goal for each of them. Now, I've since turned off all of my goals. You'll see here, like I don't actually have one just because I was finished with it. So I had a rough goal for each of the different rooms, and then also for fees. So I added up, okay, I need to pay double rent for about 2 weeks. I need to pay for the security deposit, et cetera, et cetera. And I went through and I kind of did a general goal, and then I put, you know, my general number up here was 4,500. So you can actually see here, I ended up spending 4,600 and change, so I was pretty close. And you can then see, you know, if I wanted to go back and look at this, I could see exactly how much I spent in each different category. And things sort of change over time. You guys know, like I had that issue with the IKEA order, so I ended up having to buy stuff elsewhere. But my numbers in general, based on that like initial go through of like what exactly do I need, were pretty close. So this I found really helpful because then as soon as I bought stuff and I got my receipts, I could add it in here. And I was very careful for all of my big purchases. I actually did split them out, even though, in YNAB you can do a split category. So I actually did split them out by room so that I would be fairly accurate in terms of my budget. But that was actually how I budgeted for my move. I used YNAB for the most part. I actually didn't do it a lot on paper just because there were so many moving parts and things would change over time that it just made sense to kind of keep it up to date in here. But it was really helpful having that initial look through IKEA and actually having those totals at the bottom of my different categories, because I did do the categories by room, so that I had an idea of like, okay, what do I need to budget for in here? And as you can see, I've basically like this category is going to be hidden as soon as I'm done with this video actually. And I have since like made a new category in another section that is basically just for like things I need to buy for the home. So that's kind of this miscellaneous. I left some money in there. So if I had little things that I was like, oh, I want to get this for the house or whatever, I could put them there. But now I don't need this entire section. So I'm going to hide this and then have any of those miscellaneous things go into a different category in like my daily life, one of those categories that I'm not going to hide ever. So that was how I budgeted. I hope that was helpful. I don't have all of my like actual breakdowns of different things aside from what you guys can see here, but this was sort of the process that I used in order to arrive at my actual budget. So that is all I've got. A nice quick video for you guys. I hope you guys like this series. I'm excited to do some more budget videos for you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Hey guys, so if you've made it all the way to the end of this video and are actually watching my end screen and you're not subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate it if you would. There's a little button right there for you to do it. And if you're interested in watching some more of my videos, I have links to 2 of my older videos off to the left there, so you can check those out if you would like to, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.